Elgato recently dropped this budget webcam, the FaceCam Neo, which promises studio quality 1080p footage, but is it really something worth picking up? Especially with its constant sale of $60, I've been testing it for the past couple of weeks, and here's everything you need to know about the camera. If you're new here, my name is Gabriel and I create videos on home studio tech to help you build and upgrade your setup with gear that I actually use, like this webcam. If that sounds like you, make sure you get subscribed and don't forget to like this video if you enjoy the content. In case you don't know who Elgato is, they make tons of accessories that are made for streamers and content creators as well. From mic arms to webcams to microphones, you could literally build your whole setup with just Elgato accessories. I personally have already been using their mic arms, which I'm using right now, as well as their teleprompter, which I'm using right now as well. And I do think that the teleprompter is a great addition to anybody's setup, especially if you're a content creator. The first thing to keep in mind about this webcam is the price. Although the MSRP is $99, this goes on sale for $60 quite a bit. So if you're looking to get this camera at all, maybe wait until it goes on sale, save yourself $40, and that way you can use that extra money to buy yourself a key light, which you'll definitely need if you're getting this camera. More on that later. In the box, you will get only two items, the FaceCam Neo itself, and a monitor mount so that it can stay on top of your monitor. I like that they are not attached together in one single plastic piece. That way you can use the 1/4 inch mount that comes with it to place it on a ball head instead if you want to set it up somewhere different. What I didn't like was that the cable that it came with is actually attached to the back of the camera and it's not removable. That way you can't use any other USB-C cable. At least the one that does come with this camera is going to be braided and seems top quality. It is only 3 to 4 feet long though, so if your USB hub isn't close to your monitor, you're either going to have to move the USB-C hub or you're going to have to find an extender so that you can still connect this camera. When it comes to the design of the camera, this will all be personal preference, but I do like the white color design. It gives it a cleaner look and definitely matches my setup the best. I do think that there's now some inspiration between all these brands. Even the new Insta360 2C, which was another webcam I was looking at, it looks very similar to this FaceCam Neo. There is a physical indicator on the FaceCam Neo to let you know that it is recording, but if you don't trust the indicator light at all, you also do get a physical cover that you can just slide on over and cover the lens itself. The stand does offer tilt adjustability, and you can also pivot the camera left and right by just adjusting the 1/4 inch mount. But if you would like to add rotation or any other sort of mounting option, then this is where the 1/4 inch mount comes into play, where you can mount it on a ball head wherever it is needed. I'm going to be honest and say that I really hadn't thought about getting a webcam before. For my full-time job and my personal use, I use a MacBook Pro for each of the different uses. And if you didn't know, the webcam on the MacBook Pro is actually pretty good. I think that it is way better than anything I've ever expected from a laptop and definitely better than any Windows laptop I've used before. Recently though, in my new setup, I do have a PC that doesn't have a webcam that's integrated, and my Mac is now mounted under my desk. So I did even lose the MacBook's webcam option. I thought about using the webcam that comes on my LG 5K, but that camera has a lot of different problems, which makes sense because the display is now a 6-year-old display. Also, because it was a display that I will call made for Mac, I couldn't really connect it to my PC. And before I made the full jump to a 4K 60 webcam, I want to check out what a 1080p camera had to offer, especially since my MacBook Pro's camera only goes up to 1080p. But I did not expect to run into similar issues with the FaceCam Neo that I did with a 6-year-old displaced camera that's not even meant to be a dedicated webcam. I'll give you a hint though and tell you that it was mostly my fault and has to do with my comment from earlier in the video. Elgato did integrate this camera into their Camera Hub software, so you do get full control of all the different settings in the camera before you go off and use it with any other software. This was my first stop as a first-time webcam user, so I can see what it was all about. You really do get full control over all the settings to set it up as best as possible. It reminds me of my mirrorless camera where you can control the ISO, you can control the shutter speed, the white balance, and even control flickering if the lights in your room usually flicker on the webcam. This is a lot of control for a $60 camera, which I honestly was not expecting. If you are someone that's not comfortable with all the different settings, you can also just use it with the automated settings that come in the box. And in fact, you don't even need to download the software. This is a camera that can just plug and play. As soon as you connect it to your device, it's already recognized as a webcam. if you're a streamer or content creator, I'm sure you're going to want to download the Camera Hub software just so that you can tweak and make all of the adjustments needed to make it look as best as possible. But to me, the Camera Hub was the start of my frustration. The camera just did not look good. I adjusted the ISO, I tried messing around with the shutter speeds, tried making myself look at least somewhat close to what the MacBook Pro webcam usually shows, but it just was not working. It was always dark and my face was just not getting enough light. So what you should know is that even though there are automated settings on the webcam, you will definitely need more room light to fill your face. This camera is similar to a mirrorless or professional camera where you need to make sure that the lighting is done in a way that makes the subject look way better. I've been spoiled by the webcam that's on my MacBook or my iPhone camera because the camera software already does all of this for you and the automated settings already look good. There is little to no adjusted needing anymore with phone cameras because they just auto adjust to whatever the lighting is around the room or the ambient lighting. But more than that, they don't even need that much room light or ambient light to look good. Here in my home studio, even though I do record YouTube videos, I don't like to leave all of these different light stands out. It just gets too cluttered otherwise. Instead, I use the simple IKEA floor lamps that provide just enough light for me to be able to work here, and I supplement that with my monitor light bar that I have here at my desk. This, what you're seeing right here, is what the Elgato FaceCam Neo sees in these exact settings, with all the adjustments just being set to automatic. And this is what my MacBook Pro sees in the exact same room settings with no adjustments to the lights. As you can see, there is just no competition. The MacBook picks up all of the slack that comes from bad lighting and fixes it in a way that is still presentable. The FaceCam Neo instead looks horrible. The only thing that looks worse is the LG 5K camera, and any phone camera would look really way better than either of these. If I decided to go full influencer or videographer and use all of my video lighting all the time, even for work calls, then the FaceCam Neo really starts to shine. Remember when I said to save the $40 from getting the FaceCam Neo on sale for light? Well, here's where you can put that light to use. And if you have one mounted to your monitor, you can have a key light and still get pretty good video. Elgato themselves also make small key lights that cost just about $40 to $50, so you can get the pair for just about $100, which I think is a great pairing. Personally though, I'm returning this camera. I don't have space for another key light to be mounted on my monitor, and I'm not going to leave all of my studio lights and stands out in my home studio. It's actually easier for me to just do this. But what are your thoughts on this camera, or really getting a webcam camera instead of just using the one that's already on your laptop? Is it something that's worth it to you? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. Click here to watch another one of my videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.